We are live. Let's turn the light on. Light on. Light on. Weekend live. I'm actually going to do a weekend live on actual Saturday. Right? If anybody comes in here. You know, we all know how notifications are, right? Put a hat on. I put my glasses on to read. So, let's see. Let's put this light on. How's that? There we go. A little bit easier. So, what's up, everybody? Oh, Daniel Adami, you were actually first. Thomas Wilson. Big Rich, what's up? That was a funny thing you sent me yesterday. Air Vaquero is 10th, even though there's only like 5 people in here. GMC Family Trucking. Ratman Roden is first. First third? Are you the third person or the first person? I think you're the first person. Right? Is that it? Anyways, it's Saturday night. We are in the truck because we gotta work. We gotta work for a living. And unfortunately, that's the name of the game out here, right? We're not out here all willy-nilly. But I'm out of, I should brew some coffee. Not that I should need coffee this late. You know. If it hides my ugly face. What the heck is going on here? Good to see it. Pale Rider, TJ, Nathan, Right Lane, Jose. I'm in Topeka, Kansas. I pick up tomorrow at the same place I vlogged about. And we're going to hopefully use that load to calibrate my front right weight gauge that I got installed. Where are you, bro? Spoopy is ready for orientation on Monday. He's in Mexico City with Ratman Road. And that's where I'm at. Yep. Celebrating the Day of the Dead, which I believe was 2 days ago. I kind of lucked out, even though I lost a day. Click and Go had something for me to do, picking up on a Sunday after delivering on a Saturday. Oh, beard. Let's go talk about that. So, my delivery this morning, my appointment was 6 a.m., right? I'm literally at a truck stop, literally like across the street from this place. So I go over there, start my clock at 5:30. Out over there at 5:35. That's how close I was, right? Because a half an hour for a distribution center for a box store is good. You want to be there an hour early, and you might make it to the window in time. So I pull up to the guard shack, and there's this guy with a beard about right here, about that far, right there. Okay. And he's sitting there with his cane, you know, he's obviously disabled, you know, and I bet you're a live unload, aren't you? I'm like, yeah. All right, so here's the deal, man. You're going to have to back up, park in the yellow area, and then at 10 after 6, they bring you the list. But right now, I can't even check you in. And I was like, okay, well, as long as I'm not considered late. You know, he's like, no, you'd be all right. Okay. So I back up, and there's like 2 other trucks that pull in behind me. Had to learn the same lesson because I don't have a sign. Because God forbid you show up at 6 o'clock for a 6 o'clock appointment, right? And so he's telling me this, and he's like, dude, your beard, man. So what you do is you want to park over there and stroke your beard intellectually. That's what he said, right? And he does this motion, right? And I'm like, okay, weird, right? So He goes, man, I have to ask, man, how long have you been growing that? I said, I think about 2 years, somewhere around there. It's like, I've been trying to grow mine for like 5. And he's got like maybe a couple inches of stubble, right? And so he sat there and literally talked about beards for 5 minutes while my truck's idling outside, and people are coming in confused because their 6 a.m. appointment isn't really a 6 a.m. appointment. So I'm like, okay, this is some kind of weird, I don't know, oh, what do they call that? When you're between heaven and hell, you know? What do they call that term? You guys know what I'm talking about. So I go to park, and of course, the new guy checked me in. You know what time they checked me in? 6:45. So, I guarantee that if I would have showed up at 6:45, they would have been like, "You're late," right? So, but that's what we deal with by being truck drivers, right? Oh, is it warm here? Warmer than it has been, but what's the actual temperature here? What is the temperature? It is... I'm sitting here without idling, without using my APU, in a short sleeve. I'm not cold yet, so that should tell you something. On your old gauge, what was 34 on it? Thomas Wilson, it's on one of my phones. Let me look. It's I want to say 62. I'll send you a picture of the gauge of what it looked like at a perfect 34. After this live feed. Amateur beard status. Well, I was thinking about that. He's like the third person that's complimented me on my beard, and that's weird to me because, like, I've always been like the odd guy. I've had long hair, right? But like in today's standards, my hair's really not that long. As far as like there are people with way longer hair than me, right? And that aren't even metalheads, But I guess the beard is kind of I don't know. People keep making ZZ Top references. It's just weird to me. I like having it this long. My wife likes it, which is the important part. But for the most part, I guess it draws attention to me. So, and like I was at the pet show there in Grove, Missouri, and a guy came up to me at the restaurant and was like, "Oh, dude, your beard is so awesome." I'm like, okay. It's just weird to me because, in the long hair world, I just got average length, whereas I guess the beard, I've got a little bit long, so. Al waited 7 hours, then the shipper went home and left him sitting in the parking lot, still waiting on the door. Now they are closed until Monday. Wow, that's crazy, Jeff. That is insane. Can you say truck order not used? Right? Purgatory, that's it, right, man. Provost Motorsports, good talking to you today. Southbound Jay, what's up? I'm watching this in a bar here in Mexico City. Guys around me watching in what looks like disbelief. No English spoken here. Many funny looks. I don't know any Spanish, or I'd say something in Spanish, right, man? My daughter knows Spanish. My wife knows Spanish, but I know nothing. No bueno. 30 degrees in Laramie. Wow, it's not much warmer here. Short hair and clean shaven is past tense nowadays, right? Remember, roll the clocks back tonight. I'm glad you said that. That's good. I would have, the cell phones and the ELE would have done it themselves, but yeah, I would have completely forgot about that. So yeah, we gained an hour of sleep tonight. It'll be nice not having to look for something in the dark at 8 o'clock in the morning. John Houston, what's up? I can play like Billy Gibbons, just don't have the bear. See, I'm opposite. I got the Billy Gibbons look, Southbound J, but I can't play. So there's that. More sleep. Yay. Pigtail, what's up? So that was my morning. And then oh man, I had a rough day today. I drove a whole 112 miles, right? And I'll be probably doing another 15 to my customer. And then about 200. What did I write down? 216 estimated loaded miles. So there's that. But that's how my whole week has been. The most I've done this week was Tuesday, the 29th, and that was to Dallas. That was 460 miles from when I left the house to go get my trailer to go all the way to Joplin and then to Dallas. You're growing bread, Big Houston. How do you do that? Well, that's easy. You're growing a beard too, Big Houston? I think everybody should have beards except women. You know, we don't hang with bearded women. You know, I guess that's kind of discriminatory of me, but you know, I'm not into that. But if you guys ever look at old photos like from the 1800s, that was kind of a stature. That was like a status symbol, was how well you wore your beard and your mustache. I've got a friend of mine that does the handlebar thing, you know, is that what they call that? And I got to make those motions because I'm a very verbal person. Too much in me to grow one. So I got 208 out of PA. Can you believe it? That is hard to believe. How far is it going? 100 miles? I was talking to Provost about this today. It seemed like, of course, Jeff's going to prove me wrong, but it seemed like the beginning, the rates are really good. Jeff even did a live feed about it. And then Friday morning, someone flipped a switch in all of brokerdom and said, no. And it took several phone calls and several barterings with the click and goes, and I finally got something decent. Of course, my options were limited. I almost went out to Arizona. I thought about it, but I have to be back by the 7th. We're having issues at home I got to deal with, so back to the Midwest. Good deal. Good deal. Where I work, some women look better with a beard, doesn't it? Hands on. 400 miles. That's really good. That's a good deal, man. And to come out of PA with that kind of rate, because, you know, I remember early in this game, I assumed that you got good rates out of PA. I mean, Schneider, right? But I realized that Pennsylvania can be a soft market, so it's kind of weird where the soft markets are. Sometimes they change, sometimes they're stable. We all know Miami is a soft market, right? We all know that Phoenix is a soft market, but I don't know. For some reason, I never thought it was Pennsylvania. Probably because most of my trucking career, all I did was freight in and out of Pennsylvania for Transland. But so I just assumed, and you know what assume means, right? It was a good week because the auto strike being over. There you go. My second ex-wife had a very attractive mustache. Better it was. JB and that was their counteroffer. LOL. Yeah, you know, I was kind of crazy, right? So there's one that I won't mention their name, but if you'll have an odd number, like let's say $712.18, right? That's the book it now price. And so of course naturally you always want to ask for more. That's the part of negotiating. That's the difference between You know, Schneider, you get what you get, right? So the load I particularly been on, it was at 651 rate. So I did the math of what it would be if I got it for that. I was like, okay, I can live with that, especially being a weekend, and there was no other really options other than to go home. And so I put in 900. Now it's less than what they wanted to book it now for. So I'm like, all right, 800. 5 minutes later, right? 650. So they're almost penalizing you for even trying, right? 700. That one took a little bit. They were thinking about that one. But I was in a situation where I needed to know right then and there if I could get this load. If not, I had to start making phone calls, which I did make a few phone calls. I called on a load from a major brokerage, Excelsior Springs, Missouri, which is right outside of Kansas City, going to Washington Courthouse, Ohio. Now, those of you who, there's only two things that you deliver to in Washington Courthouse: dog food and Walmart, right? I assumed it was Walmart because of what I was picking up. So 650 miles, 1,200 is the absolute lowest I'm going to go. So I called them up. I was going to start at 14. It was perfect. It said it picked up on the low board app. It said, so I call. I'm like, yeah, man, it picks up at 10 a.m. on Saturday, and it delivers Sunday at 7 a.m. Now, those of you who know your regulations, is that a legal possible load? $650 loaded miles going from Excelsior Springs, Missouri in 24 hours. Can that be done? The only is if I showed up at the shipper at 6 a.m. instead of 10 a.m. and shut it down, went to bed at the loading dock. And then start your day at 4 p.m., drive all night to get it there, hoping that you don't have a traffic snarl in St. Louis, Indianapolis, and Columbus, right? At least I think you go through Columbus. It's been a minute since I've... Then you're going to run out of time at the place, right? You might get there by 6 a.m. because remember, you're going to lose an hour going from Central to Eastern, right? So I'm like, okay, have a good day. You know, I didn't even negotiate at that point. So I thought, you know what, this is a big brokerage. Maybe that agent has the wrong information. There's no way that that's right, right? So I call the number again. This time I get a different agent. Goes over the whole spiel, act like I've never called before. And they're like, well, I'm like, okay. And before I could ask about if they were sure on the time, they're like, yeah, we're wanting this one to go for $900. $900 for 650 loaded miles. 950 divided by 650. That's $1.46 a mile. Times 0.8. That's $1.16 to me, right? Now you can sit there and like, well, it's taking to Ohio, it's going over the weekend. But the one big problem with that is that you can't legally do it unless you screw up. So if I did the overnight thing, well then I lose all of Sunday, right? So it might as well be a 2-day load anyways. So I asked him, I said, well, number one, are you sure on that delivery time? Because that needs to be Monday at 7 a.m. That would be perfect. math and physics and that kind of thing. And they were like, okay, well, we could probably get it rescheduled. You know, what would you want? Now, here's where I have a problem with that. Walmart ain't easy to reschedule. And I know, and I asked him, I said, it's going to Walmart, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen, right? And he's like, yeah, you're probably right. Well, I mean, if we could get it rescheduled, what would you want? 1,400. That the most I could do is 1,000. I'm like, no, that ain't gonna happen. I said, not only that, really. I'm like, yeah, then we're done here, you know. And that's probably the most negative aspect of running the spot market and deal with brokers is because is you're dealing with people that don't know the regulations. You're dealing with people that don't realize. And I don't know, maybe that low was supposed to have been picked up Friday, but and someone dropped the ball, or someone dropped the ball on scheduling, or maybe the shipper. You know, sometimes it's a shipper that gets the delivery scheduled, or the receiver, right? So even if they could reschedule it, they were not going to budge past 1,000, and I didn't see the point of doing that. So, you know, there's a time when you got to let it sit, and there's a time when you got to move, and there's a time when you got to find a compromise. You know, not the greatest, but puts me in a better area. And I probably would have, I definitely would have, you know, maybe 12, but I've been sticking to my guns more on that because I'm not liking the rate that I'm getting on my all miles. So I'm either deadheading more, or I'm not negotiating better. I mean, I am better this week. I mean, this week my rates are really good, you know, but and I've barely used any fuel. The short game has worked this week. I've been doing 3,400 miles a week. Rates increase a bit between Atlanta and Central Florida. Even South Florida rates increase a bit. Jose, but I look for your rates to drop down there because it's starting to get cold. People are starting to see snow. Cody, that sounds like their MO. Well, Jeff, you know, we don't talk about actual specific brokers on here. You know that. So, but, you know. Word from North Dakota. Is it cold up there? Look like Johan Haig. Who's that? Yeah, if you start midnight. See, Daniel's got it. LBC, what's happening? Man, I've missed a lot of comments. Washington Courthouse says active serial killer, beware. Really? Is it for reals, or are you just jiving me? James Best is in the house. TK is in the house. Oregon getting beat like a redheaded stepchild by USC. That's a college football thing, I'm assuming. All of like trucking heresy? Not all of us. Just a few of us. Cold, no snow. I got too much Halloween candy. 0 trick-or-treaters this year. That's why we learned by living on a dead-end street, we learned that you get the stuff that you like because ain't nobody else grabbing it, right? We've even done you know, when the kids were little, we would do the whole leave the bowl on the porch and say, take one. Like, that never happens. And it would still be there. Like, we're literally the last house on a dead-end street. And nobody on our street, nobody celebrates Halloween. So after the first 3 houses, people are like, screw it. I think that the trend now is you find the one neighborhood that's doing it, like they've all like planned it like a neighborhood, like a kind of like a neighborhood yard sale. It's kind of like that, and that seems to work the best. So everyone mail OTJB a Hot Logic cooker for Christmas. Hey, that reminds me, Jeff. Baby Ruth, man, that's too nutty. Too nutty. Too hard. I I'll do a review on the Hot Logic. I can do that. Although Road Pro sent me a couple things, I won't do a review on them because it won't be a good one. So, but the lunchbox cooker, knock on wood, is still going strong. In fact, I used it just yesterday. I cooked some Italian sausage with pico de gallo, um, Swiss cheese, and jalapenos and mushrooms. It was good. It was really good. The same about keto, man. You can eat good. Is the Hot Logic the lunch pack cooker? No, they're two separate things. The Hot Logic is smaller, slimmer, and it cooks at a lower temperature. The lunchbox cooker cooks anywhere between 300 and 350 degrees. So if you want to, so now there's an extra layer, so I can put in a pork roast or a beef roast or a big ribeye, and it will be perfect like a pot roast. Jesus. Hey, James and Jaffer are in this little debate on how good the Hot Logic is. Yeah, Jonathan Houston's got a lunchbox cooker. I watched James Best's last live feed. Man, you lit that Wallace and then you caught fire. Hot Logic is for people who might be hungry tomorrow. You going grocery shopping tomorrow? Good on you, Daniel. I'm thinking about getting a lunchbox cooker. Is it better than a crock pot? I have a crock pot. It depends. I mean, what I like about the lunchbox cooker is that it's like having a little oven, right? You definitely can fit more food in a crock pot. I used to have a crock pot in my old truck. When my inverter almost caught my big cat truck on fire, I took it out. And I had these little bungees, to keep the lid on. And and I used it, but I like the lunchbox cooker because you can usually cook something within a couple hours. So I mean that's just depends on what you're cooking. I would buy one and add it to your arsenal. If you want to cook chili, do the crock pot. If you want to cook a roast, Shadow Wolf uses it, so it must be good. Well, that's a valid point there, Mr. Jeff. You wear an extra large shirt? That reminds me. I got a present for you. You got a crock pot I'm going to use in the truck, says John. There you go. Big Road Little Truck, what's up? Toaster ovens rule. Now, I will say that. Harold uses a toaster oven. Jeff uses a toaster oven. I've never used one because I've always heard that they're hard on the inverters, right? So I would rather just use a microwave. And what does the toaster oven cook? Pizza, bread, pizza rolls. Not on my diet. So Edward Hall says lunchbox cooker has been great. Yeah. Yeah, right, Lane. You need someone buy Roscoe one and he'll do a review. He cooks steak and chicken and yogurt. That's my mainstay. Well, don't put that yogurt and the salads in the lunchbox cooker there. If I had a big truck, I'd get me a little midget girl to do all the cooking and cleaning and then put her back in the glove box. Right, man. Might be a good time to invest in a Hot Logic considering how many people will be buying one for OTJB. Toaster ovens take too long in my opinion. Well, guess what? Logic ain't much quicker, right? So, look, I can't bash the Hot Logic because I don't have one, right? Now, I will say this. There's been times, like, I've got pre-made frozen hamburgers and pre-steamed, or, you know, pre-steamed, frozen broccoli, right? And I think that's where a Hot Logic would come in handy, right? Like, just throw that in there, and then a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours, it'll be done by the time I park, right? Lunchbox cooker might overcook that, right? But Logic, so, you know, I could see the appeal in that direction, but I've got literally 4 cooking devices in this truck, and I use like 2. All the unhealthy stuff, not keto. There you go. Daniel needs a new inverter. I thought you were going to get one at home. Cooks any meat, Snorlord. Just put it in an aluminum pan. I would rather use the glass. It's actually unhealthy to cook in aluminum. On Sundays, it's fried crispy bacon over easy eggs. I slow cook in my toaster oven. Yeah. Go to Walgreens and buy a heating pad. Throw that in your... Oh, look at James Vest. I can hear the phone call now. James and Jeff arguing over the Logic. What was that you were going to say? What is that, James? You said that in your live feed that you got those heating rocks from your pet store. You can just use those. I will say this, though. So they have a Hot Logic display at the Joplin Pet Show, right? And I go there, I'm like, oh, this is the thing that Jeff's talking about. I open the thing up, I'm like, oh, wonder how hot it is. And I burned the crap out of my hand. I was like, well, dang, I guess it gets hot. Hence the name, Steve Genius, right? So yeah, I've actually burned myself on a Hot Logic. I don't even own one. Will deliver to your truck. Just saying. Not where I'm at. I cook hamburger patties, chicken and cheddar in a toaster oven. It's a mini oven. I don't have room for a toaster oven. Aluminum equals Alzheimer's. Right. And I used to grind aluminum. So I did buy a steel pan for the lunchbox cooker. But you know, so it is. So we already had that call today. I was until I had to spend $266 on putting 2 reverse lamps installed on the truck. Yeah, Jeff never calls me, so you know. So I can't argue with him about the Hot Logic. Yeah, Daniel, welcome to being an owner operator. Right? At least you got money to roll with it, right? But you know, whether it's a Hot Logic or lunchbox cooker or toaster oven or microwave or throw it in on the turbo, cooking in the truck is a great way to save money and eat healthier. But one of the things that attracts me about keto is that you can figure out how to eat in any restaurant. If you can do that, you're golden. And there's some really good videos out there talking about that. Today, never requested it, it just showed up. I'm tailing is a sign from the Lord, says John Armstrong. I got the tracking office ELD today, all plugged in, ready to go. The sad thing is people who don't have cash to repair their truck. Yep, that's me. If I have a breakdown between now and, I don't know, a while, that last breakdown, that last repair bill took my resources out. As far as getting your own authority, John, when I became an owner operator, I did not come out right. I mean, I did and I didn't. And it's by a little bit of luck, a little bit of support that I've been able to make it this far, right? And I learn things as I go. I've learned a lot. I really wish I would have left my Landstar videos up, right? And if you want to get your own authority, I feel that a person should go through a business plan, just like you would when you want to become an owner operator. Because it's not just getting 100% and your insurance paid. You got insurance, ELD, compliance, all the official red tape and paperwork, and then the challenges of getting, and then you got to make a decision whether you're going to factor or not, and then that could depend on how much you need to save. If you don't want to factor, then you're going to take a little bit of a cut on the quick pay stuff, or you're going to wait 30 to 90 days or 30 to 45 days for your money, right? So how are you going to pay for the fuel and all that? So you have to come up with a business plan and really figure out what it's going to take, and that's a number that's not out there because everybody's insurance bill is going to be different. In a truck, I'm proof that you can buy a truck wrong and still make it for now. But to have your own authority and not do that right, that's a whole different ballgame. So I would make sure that your ducks are in a row, your business plan, your worst case scenarios are all lined up, insurance and what your intentions are and everything else. Long ago, wasn't there some contraption that you could cook on your manifold? I have no idea, right, man? That was before my time. Manifold meat? Oh, TJB hooked it up. We're all in trouble. Nothing witty's in the house. I was going to take Kevin Rutherford's course on how to get your authority first. That is a great idea. There's a lot of business classes that you can get, that you have access to with OIDA if you're a member. There's podcasts, Jeff's done videos. Educate. So there's no surprises. Big Rich is pooping. Well, that's the thing, John. If you don't know how to self-dispatch first, that's your first issue. That's your first thing you want to tackle. Because when I went to Landstar, not only did I have to learn how to negotiate loads and rates and all that stuff, but I had to learn how to schedule everything. And mind you, I was a trainer and I knew how to schedule myself. I knew how to, if I was given a run, I knew how to schedule this. I was really good about that. And so what would you do? How would you do this? What do you think? This, that, and the other. And to go from a company driver to somebody with their own authority, working off the spot market, that's a huge, huge, huge jump. It's better to go in steps. Do a self-dispatch system like Schneider and or Landstar, and then get your business built up, and then work on getting your own plate, a portion plate, Because a portion plate, if you've never done it before, can be a paperwork nightmare, right? It was almost too much. I required a lot of help because I didn't understand any of it, right? Because I didn't educate myself good enough. Once you have your own plate and you've bought your own truck, okay, now, and you've self-dispatched for a minute, now I think it's when you're ready. So everything's in steps. Everything's, it's through the struggles that you learn. And if you go in struggling too fast, too high in, it's a lot easier to sink, more than you know. Plus, brokers don't want to deal with you if your authority is less than 2 years old. That is true, Rat Man. It's a lot harder. I booked loads when I ran a team with a guy who had his own authority, but it was long ago. Yeah, it's a different game now. If you have an in with the broker and shipper, don't have to wait. I just have to run for 6 months with them to become a trusted carrier. Well, you're welcome, John. I don't know if I'd call what I know wisdom. Just I know what not to do and what I've seen get other people in trouble. My pre-pass voice notification came in today. Yay. So, that's what that email was. Everything in steps, man. Everything in steps. So, any other comments, questions, concerns? We're at 45 minutes. We seem to have a good signal, knock on wood. $70 in pre-pass. Or is that your best pass? You got the best pass, don't you? See, I'm still old school. I still got I'm still that guy with 15 passes in the windshield. I'm that guy. Zip tied to the grill. The elite pass. 30 watching, only 13 likes. I know, Rat Man. Well, now it's 27. You chased a couple away. Well, John, there are passes that... The elite pass covers everything in the nation. I believe the best pass does... It combines a few of them. And then what I have is I have pre-pass, easy pass, and K-tag, which K-tag covers Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas. And easy pass, of course, is covered by all the Northeast. And then the pre-pass gives me a nice little green light to go through the scales. You don't give yourself enough credit, Steve. You know an awful lot. Though I know you'll say there's a hell of a lot more you don't know. There is. I don't know. If I want to get my own authority, I don't know how to do that. But I have a lot of friends that would help me, right? And if I wanted to get my own authority, I would do a cost analysis, a business plan. I would do it much smarter than how I did my first truck, right? Of getting into this business. Elite Pass covers everything, right? Had to get a Texas tag for that bypass toll. Well, see, if you got a K tag, it would have covered that. K tag, I get a discount in Kansas, and then it covers Oklahoma and Texas as well. Not to mention, Texas is a cashless state, so they'll just mail you a bill. But if I wanted to get my own authority, I would do a cost analysis of what I would have to call an insurance company and figure out what ELD I'm going to use and if I'm going to factor and all this stuff, right? And then look at the numbers, look at the worst case scenario, and I wouldn't just be like, well, POI didn't get it done. Hope for the best. Never got a notification. Well, how did you find me, Adam? I have Pike Pass from K-Tag. I'm actually started working on a business plan. There you go, John. That's the thing. Those of you who are aspiring to be owner operators, do a business plan. Trust me, if you don't do a business plan, it's going to hurt. Trust me, I know that, right? Does not include Texas, so I can keep my told account separate. Okay. One of these days I'll get the Elite Pass, but for now I only primarily use the K tag, pretty much. I'm at as of September 30th, I'm at $1,000. Okay, so let's do that. I don't have that number on me. It's going to go my numbers, but it's on the phone that I'm doing the live stream from. I believe. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, as of August 31st. Okay, that's why a business plan is important. I'm at $1,000 in tolls. I'm at the end of September. I'm at 7,000 and change on maintenance and repairs. Insurance by itself. I'm at 3,000. Now here's the other thing. So I was looking at my numbers on maintenance, right? How many of you work for a carrier as an owner operator or a lease op, and they're taking 10 cents a mile for maintenance? Okay, how much is it to run the other 3 snow load runs? I have no idea. How much is the Elite Pass versus running the tag pre-pass and Elite Pass? All right, so I got a little bit of a lull here. So I'm sorry. The 3. Okay, so there's no charge except, my pre-pass is $17 a month. Okay, that's for the way stations. The other 2 passes don't cost me anything if I don't run through a toll at all. So there's that. Like, there's no monthly charge. Now, I've got the Riverlink Easy Pass. What they do is you put money in a bank, kind of like you give them $40, and then if you go, then they'll replenish it. So you got to give them a credit card number, right? But you do have to put money in the account. Yeah. So, it works for me. Now, streamlining would be better with the Elite Pass, because it's all out of one thing, one source, whereas did I do an Easy Pass this month? Did I do, and so I've got like bills coming from different areas, right? That can get confusing. And that's the other thing. To be a business owner, you want to streamline. But back to the 10 cents a mile thing. So right now, at the end of September, before this major truck repair I just had done, I'm at 10 cents a mile for all. Now, you Schneider guys, you're paid on percentage, so you're getting a flat rate pulled out if you're a lease operator. You know, if you've got a Schneider finance lease. And the average, some people are 180, some people are at 250, so we'll call it $200 a month, or a week, sorry, a week. Which, if you took my numbers and divide it by the weeks, came out to $180 a week, right? So 10 cents a mile or $200 a week is actually a fairly decent amount for maintenance and repair, because that comes out to $10,500 for the year if you put in every week, 52 weeks, right? I think I did that right. 200 times 12. No, that's not right. 200 times 52. Duh. Yeah, 10,400. Sorry, I was off. And to have that 10,000 in the bank all the time. So Daniel, are you listening? Right? So that's why Schneider Finance makes you do the MMA, because they want that money in the bank for to get repairs. You know, even if you just do tires and brakes one year, that's still going to be a 5 to 8 grand, right? So depending on how much of a tire discount you get and all that kind of stuff. So that, now if you hardly run any miles, you're probably safer to do $200 a week. But that is just something I've learned by looking at the numbers and learning by my experience and on where I failed to put money back for the truck. So yeah, that's how my Riverlink is, Bandit. Link was pretty quick. So but anyway, someone just texted me. Sorry, that's why I did that. But and network with other business owners, even if their model is completely different from yours. Like, even if they got like businesses on the side, or you know, or they got other streams of income, listen to what they have to say, learn from them. You know, I'm blessed with different people who are willing to help me that have vast different business backgrounds. You know, let their struggles teach me, right? So that's a big part of it. So other than that, I watched a really good video today. It was called suspense is killing you guys, right? Library, history. It's a channel called High Intensity Health. It's a video called Keto, Carnivore, and OMAD Put to the Test Full Body MRI Scan. And what was interesting about this video is that there's a lady in there, one of the hosts of the channel. Her and her husband went and did a full MRI scan. They had to go to Vancouver to do it. It's like this fancy thing. It's like literally like as effective as slicing open a person up, right? You could see everything, 3D, whole 9 yards. And like can look at your bone marrow density. They can look at the visceral fat around your organs. They can look at your organs. They can look at how well your kidneys are functioning, a whole 9 yards, right? And the doctor said if he hadn't known any better, the woman could have been mistaken for a 16-year-old physically active, fit female, right? And so they were talking about that, and they were showing her, and she's getting a lot of flack because people are calling her anorexic, right? And no, she's just very defined. They come to find out she's like 43 years old, and she looks like in her 20s. It's kind of amazing, but the insides looked like she was younger, right? And same with the guy. And she's been on the keto for 7 years, and I think he's been on the keto OMAD thing for 5 years. If you read the comments of the video, there's a lot of evidence that this works. If I'm not proof that it works, I don't know what to tell you, right? All right, man. I know I'm not as interesting as a PS4, but have a good night. It's I get that a lot, right? And trust me, don't think that I've never tempted. Don't think that I haven't had a cheat, bite here and there, right? For me, has changed my relationship with food. It's changed my perception of what food is. And once you do that, then it becomes easy. You're not tempted by the bread. You're not tempted by the different things that society throws at you, And then when you do so well with that, then you have a cheat day. Then you can celebrate a holiday or go to an event, Like, I went to a church event and had chicken enchiladas. It's not very keto friendly, right? But I did okay with that because I hadn't eaten like that all week. I think I even snuck in a cinnamon roll, like a little bite-sized one, right? And just when you go without sugar for so long, it's like, oh, that's too ugh. It just grossed me out, right? And there are bread alternatives in the keto world. There really is. There's a Quest puts out pizza now, frozen pizza. I bought one. I haven't ate it yet. I guess if I had a toaster in the truck, I could have cooked it in the truck. But there are pizza places that are doing cauliflower-based pizza crusts now. There are recipes using coconut or almond flour or psyllium husk that could be used to make bread. There's a 90-second microwave bread that you can do. It tastes like French toast. And basically it's a tablespoon of butter or like avocado or olive oil, a tablespoon of almond flour, and an egg. And it cooks up. You can toast it and everything else. So, and it tastes like a piece of French toast, pretty much. Unsweetened French toast. Yeah, see, but the gluten-free bread is not. Go walk your dog, John. Few people reach out to me and I will help as much as I can. All I can do is tell you what I've done. What I've done is a little extreme because I was like cold turkey almost. But I realized not everybody can do that. So, and then but to be honest with you, the keto thing is pretty easy to start and do for a while. It's when you have some success and you feel that you can go back to your old ways, that's where you're going to get a problem. That's where you're going to get in trouble. And that's the hardest part, is that if you don't truly change how you eat and why you eat, you're going to go back to your old ways and you're going to gain your weight back. I've seen it over and over. And that's the hardest part, is not falling into bad habits. And that's hard to do because we've been eating the same way for, I just eat whatever I want in moderation. You also have the bypass thing, right? Right? To me, that seems extreme to lose weight. But there are people that don't like it when I talk about the health stuff, so maybe I'll just stop. So, but it's about feeling better. I was talking to my wife about the whole sweatpants thing. Like it feels good. I had to wear sweatpants to drive a truck. I was that guy. And to be able to put jeans on again, that's a good feeling. To be able to put jeans on and be comfortable, that's even better. And earlier last week, I was able to fit in the size 40 jeans. Now, these were jeans that I had when my wife and I first started dating, which was 20 years ago. And I've kept them with the hopes that I can eventually get back into them, and I have. Now, I'm not doing a whole lot of exercise with them. It's like we're not quite there to wear them out, but I didn't have to lay down to button them up, right? So, little victories like that is what can keep you going. So, Johnny Saka wants a 34-hour live feed from James Best. That would definitely be a marathon. Lee makes a stretchy jean. Love them. Don't have to pull up crotch before climbing into a trailer. I've got those too. I've got the elastic waistband jeans as well. Well, tell your youngest I said hi there, Mr. Berger. So, we're at an hour. And, no, that was the other thing. Johnny Sacco brings up the shorts. So they're not the jean shorts. They're the gym shorts, right? And I knew that they were getting too big for me, but I stuck it out. And when I put my summer clothes away, I literally gave them away. I donated them. So come summertime, I have to buy a bunch of new shorts. Wool jammy soon, right? But anyways, thanks for watching. And I don't know. I don't have anything brilliant to say anymore, so. Anyways, thanks for watching.